Yes. Damn, Colin, you're frozen.
Right, I think we're right. This is driving me nuts.
Just go for it.
Right, where's my bloody screen now? Oh, there it is. Right. Hello everyone. Right, we're here. God, I've just right. Did you not hear me giving the intro?
Nope. Nope.
Shit. Everything just right. I was. What are you doing, screen? My screen's disappearing now.
Oh no!
Right.
Yeah,
I'm
there's
here.
a little ghosty there.
Yeah, that's my
there.
little. That's not that.
Yep.
Oh, I'm gonna lose a plot. Right. Anyway, we're
No,
talking
don't.
about,
Calm down. We're all good. They
we're
can
talking
just
about
have to
Perfect
look
Creature.
at me.
We're live. I think. Yeah, we've got people in the chat.
Hi.
Right. Okay. So I don't know if it's a Google Chrome thing or what. I've been on the technical support. I don't know what's happening.
Don't worry, you'll fix it eventually.
Right.
There's a ghost in the machine. See, there's
So there you
literally
go.
a ghost in the machine.
So I've got my little ghost avatar for Ghost in the Machine then. Right, we're live. We're talking about Perfect Creature, directed by Glenn Standring. The vampire myth is given a stylish 1960s treatment where a human cop partners with a vampire cop to stop a vamp bent on creating a war between the two separate but equal races. This movie was made on a budget of $11 million. I think this was just made for TV. It doesn't have the sort of cinema vibe to it.
Oh no, definitely not. No. I don't think I would have gone to the movies to watch this. No. So yeah. But it was bloody awesome.
It's a fun movie.
Really loved it. Yes, there's so much going on. It's so cool. Yeah.
This reminds me a bit of what they did with Underworld. It's not just your typical vampire movie. They've created the whole universe. They've created a style, an aesthetic.
Yeah.
Almost a world within a world.
Yep. Mm. Oh, am I muted? Hold on. Now I'm having problems.
Oh, for God's sake.
There we go.
Right.
No. It's okay.
Right. This could be the most awkward stream we've ever done, just because this
No, it's not. No, it's not. Yeah. Anyway, people are probably sick of seeing your face. So no.
Oh, is that the way it is? Okay, right. We're doing that now. Gloves are off.
No. Of course not. No. Oh wow.
Tell me what you really think, Dale.
Yeah, no, not at all, sweetie.
I'm not precious. I
know you're not. Oh, well, we'll get through this. That's okay.
Yep.
As long as, yep.
But yeah, I like the whole. There's sort of steampunk aesthetic. They said a 60s style, but I didn't see the 60s, and it was almost like Victorian era. But then they've got blimps and airships and.
Yeah, that was a bit strange. It was definitely steampunk coming into it, especially with the blimps and all those sorts of things, the metal ones, and the environment was just so. It reminded me of Batman, underground and all that sort of stuff, the underworld, underground, or whatever the dirty storage sort of places and. In your bag. It was great. It's the vibe really suited it. I loved it. I love the vibration. I love the vibe of it. Yeah. So, and the steampunk really suited it. I think. Yeah, I saw nothing to do with the 1960s at all. I didn't get that. No.
I think whoever wrote the intro for it on IMDb doesn't understand movies, but I think we know that anyway.
Yeah. Yep.
You put an apple and orange in front of them, they'd say lemon because that's just the sort of
Yeah.
people that
Because that's what.
the
Yeah.
fill in their websites. But no, definitely steampunk. That's without a doubt. You're seeing that borderline Victorian era. You know,
Yep.
like the
Yep.
medical instruments in this made you cringe.
Yes. Oh, and the weapons. Oh my goodness. I mean, they were steampunk weapons, weren't they?
Oh yes,
Kind of,
definitely.
yeah, yeah, definitely. Yeah. So, I really liked it. It's got that real gothic feeling to it. Yeah. And it suited the moodiness the whole way through the film, I think, too. I really liked it. I'm glad they chose that setting.
That would have taken a lot of work.
Oh God, yeah. I mean, it was filmed down south, so they used a lot of buildings in Dunedin. I think a bank and all that sort of stuff, and they really like. I don't know. I think most of it was done on what would you say, a set as
Oh, they've
such?
definitely
Because
built a set for it. That's what I'm saying.
yeah, they built a set.
This movie could have be done really cheaply. Just using set locations or buildings and maybe just modern era. But they've actually went and built the universe for this.
They
And
did.
for such a low budget movie, like the amount of efforts went into it really impressed me.
Yeah, absolutely. Right from the setting to the flying and the jumping and the climbing up walls and all that sort of that was just so impressive. I was just blown away. I didn't, I really wish I had watched this back in 2006. But then again, I wasn't really into that sort of genre, I think, back then, so maybe it wouldn't have worked so much. But
Mm.
I really enjoyed it. More so as an older adult now than back then. So I mean, it's nearly that's nearly 20 years old.
Yeah.
This film. Oh my gosh.
And I think the way they've done it, it doesn't age. Like
I don't
if
think
they were
so
using
either.
horrible CG, like there's a wee bit of CGI, one or two bits, but it's done well.
Yep.
And because I always bring up CGI because that's the thing that ages the most. If you see a film from 5 years ago and if you CGI, the CGI is so aged compared to now. It's a real
Yes.
tale of
Yes.
when a film was made. So I always bring it up. But just
Yep.
think of the extra. Like these are busy locations, as in loads of people in costume,
Yeah.
in character, lots of extras. And to me, that's a lot of work. That's a lot of effort
For
for a low.
for $11 million budget, that's impressive. So impressive. I think a lot of the budget would have gone on the special effects and all that sort of stuff, as it does,
Mm.
So yeah, they really put 100% into it, eh? Yeah. And it was full on cast of famous New Zealand actors, all of them basically are
Is Doug
very
Ray Scott New
recognizable.
Zealander?
Who?
Doug Ray Scott?
I don't think so. Oh, actually, I'm not sure. There's a couple of people in there I think are from other countries. I don't think they're Kiwis. So, but I could be wrong because I didn't actually look up who is who. But I know Robbie and some of the cops and the detectives. They're very famous actors over here. Yeah, even right at the beginning, the one that gives birth to Edgar. I mean, she was on McLeod's Daughters. I don't know if you know that one. Yeah, so yes, she's very very famous, and yeah. So that was quite a nice surprise to see them all together. Yeah, a lot of them are gone on to be. They were on Shortland Street, of course. So and now
That's
they're not.
basically
So,
New Zealand's equivalent to Home and Away, isn't it? Where every actor
yeah, it is.
goes for their like trial run.
Yeah. Yeah, or to get into the business, to break
Yeah,
out into the business.
as I
Yeah.
said, the trial run.
You've made it. Yeah, 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 absolutely. Yeah, so, no, excellent.
Everyone loses their mind when my camera's off. I didn't realize
Yeah,
it was
no.
such a
You
stunner, and it was
you
that's what you need to
are.
bring the viewer. We see the subscribers dropping now. The camera's going. It's like, oh no, I can't see his face anymore. He's not here.
Oh, no, but we can see your ghosty face.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's all right. You have to put up with me for now. I'm glad we could still hear you. Now that would have been a freaking
Oh, that would have
mission.
been. Actually, I get more annoyed if my sound. Remember when my sound plays up the odd time?
Yes, that's
That really
right.
annoys me. I can live with bad
That's got to be
camera,
worse. Yes, yes.
but if I
Yeah,
don't sound crisp, or if the switches over microphones. Oh, that's another thing because
yes.
I turned off my webcam microphone so it didn't accidentally swap over because that was a problem for ages. So I
Mm,
switched that back on to make sure that wasn't the issue.
yeah.
That was another thing I
No, it
did
wasn't
earlier
that.
on. I've
Mm,
went through all the checkboxes I can think of doing to make
yeah,
sure I haven't done a setting that's messing with this. And
yeah.
yeah, I don't
And you've
know.
been in contact with tech people,
Well,
so
the numpties at the first level that copy and paste everything. Have you
yeah.
turned it off and on again? Oh, gee, I don't know. I've only been working with computers for about 30 odd years. I wouldn't have thought to do that.
Yeah, I know. They think everybody's dumb.
Yeah, but then the dumb people make create the stereotype.
Well, yeah.
That's the
Okay.
problem. When the dumb people
Yeah,
arrive, they go full board. They don't even go half dumb. They go fully there. So I suppose it's
yeah,
balanced at the end
yeah,
of the day.
yeah. Totally. Mm. Oh
Uh,
dear.
so the premise of this that basically vampires exist. They're doing the virus thing, the mutation thing, but then they give it a strange twist where they make the vampires the religion.
That was very interesting. I, okay, so that had evolved over about 300 years. And then they became a church. People were going to the church and giving blood. It's very normal, isn't it? But seriously, I don't think I trust an organization or a church or a cult or a religion run by vampires. I mean, you just can't trust them. And it's like everybody, how we saw everybody kissing Silas's hand, brother Silas's hand, and all that sort of stuff. So, they actually worship the brotherhood. People do in this coexisting parallel universe, which was a really cool concept. I've never seen it before.
No, that's what I mean. It was a completely different twist, and it brought something new to the table. So here we go. It's you can. I think what they did is well, instead of remember I complained about the homogenization and everything's all a virus
Yep,
and that's the answer, but they did something different here.
they
So
did.
they made a unique story and they created a unique universe for it to go in to. So this world is set apart from anything else. It's its own thing, and I think putting that effort in helps you go along with it.
Oh, it definitely pushes the narrative, doesn't it? It's really well done. I think they just incorporated everything just perfectly. It's perfect creature, perfect video, perfect
Hmm.
film. I mean, yeah, and I love the way they played that up. The religious part of it, and people like falling at their feet and Silas, you're just amazing, and all that sort of stuff. I think that it like made me more invested in the characters. I think I'm. It's because it was so different, and they broke a lot of vampire laws in this one as well, and it didn't take away from the flavor of the film.
No, I think.
Like
Sorry, go
yeah,
ahead.
like they don't have to ask to be invited inside. They can walk during the day. I think that's quite cool, and they're there to save the human race as opposed to eating the human race.
Hmm.
Um, until Edgar goes rogue, basically every there hasn't been a vampire killing a human in 300 years. I mean, that's a pretty cool concept in itself as well.
Or he said never.
Yeah,
There's never been a vampire killing.
yeah,
Vampires never
never
killed a human.
in 300 years. That was
Mhm.
Edgar was the first one. So, mm.
Um,
Interesting.
but I think because they spent the effort creating an entire universe, that's why they can destroy the rules of vampire. Because basically, these are their own
Yes.
things. It's loosely based on vampire, but because it's its own universe and it went to this trouble, you just go along with it, and it doesn't parallel into our world. So we can
No.
forget these I mean, these vampires are never going to meet your natural supernatural type, or anything
No.
that. So that was cool. I'll not lie, the fact that they're talking about pandemics and influenza and vaccines. Like, I know this is 2006, but that's still quite raw.
I know, right? It's
That's
like, oh my God, they almost predicted it, didn't they?
the way people went. I'm just yeah, I've got opinions in that whole era of our history, recent history, and I'll obviously not bring it up here because I'm still angry about it all and the
Yeah.
sort of dirty tricks and all that happened.
Yeah, it was nasty.
But you can see,
And you can see that in this film, with hiding the vaccines and people, trafficking vaccines. And I know that didn't happen during the pandemic, of course, but everyone's being
other
forced into having
things, other things
vaccines.
happened. You know what I mean? And went the other way. People basically put a gun to their head. Like I said, I don't want to get into all that because that's
Yep. Yeah,
not this
but it was
channel.
very
It
close
was
to this
very close to the
COVID thing.
knuckle,
Yeah.
and I
If
don't
it
think.
was actually almost like they predicted it, to a T. It's very, but I guess all pandemics end up being the same pattern
Oh
anyway.
yeah, it's always
So
been. Yeah, I've
they
watched.
use the plague.
I just can't
Yeah.
watch those movies now. If I knew that was what this was about, I might have had second thoughts. Just purely, because of all what happened.
Yeah.
I can't
Yeah.
watch those films, and I can't suspend disbelief. I can't enjoy them. I can't. Um, you know,
Oh dear.
it's just horrible.
Oh. Yeah, but they sort of changed it up a bit though, didn't it? From the normal pandemic sort of thing, from the Black Plague and the Spanish flu and all that sort of thing.
Yeah. So what they're saying is the diseases came because people started messing with vampire DNA. Scientists
Yeah.
started experimenting on vampires, and that's how they got the flu and stuff. And then vampires basically formed themselves into a religion and decided they were going to shepherd the world, the human
Yeah.
race.
Mm, yep. Yep. And it worked. It worked really well.
Like, I don't really have any criticisms about the story itself.
No.
Honestly, it's really well paced. It's well thought out. There's no major plot holes. I can't think of any. You know, normally you see the
I
plot holes
didn't
in that.
find any. Yeah, because if I would have definitely have noted if there was, because I was watching it so vigilantly, because I actually really, really enjoyed watching this. So yeah, no, I didn't. No, I didn't. I didn't see anything out of any issues with it. I think they worked really hard to do this one, and I wish that we knew some box office and information, but there's none out there. So, like you said, it possibly could have been for a TV series or some TV show or something. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know. It's it's just a great movie. I really loved it. I'm so glad we got to watch it.
Yeah.
And yeah, when the virus thing came up, I was like, oh no, it's going to be another one of those ones. And it wasn't. So,
It was
well,
done very
not to the
cleverly.
degree. Yes, yes, very much so. Yeah,
So we'll start off. We've got Silas. Obviously, he's out hunting. We don't quite know what's going on, but very quickly we find out he's hunting Edgar, his brother.
yes.
And yeah, this is where the whole that's one thing we're not messing about. Where we know who the antagonist is, we know what their motivations are. And that gets uncovered as we go through the movie.
Yeah,
But it's not about that. It's about exploring this world and the organizations behind it, the politics behind it, the everything that's going
yes,
on, the shenanigans, and how vampires and humans interact, and fear. It explores fear and how fear can be, you know, manipulated and turned on, and why you need to have cover ups and stuff. And
Yes, it happened quite early on, didn't it? The cover-ups. So that was quite interesting.
Doesn't mean it was
Mm,
right that it happened, cover ups, but it's still they're showing. And if you look at any mainstream religions, the things they have, their historical abuse acquiring and all that kind of stuff, it
yep,
does happen.
yep, yep.
When you get an organization that large, that and they're
Well,
used to power and being lauded on, they don't want to give it up.
yeah. Well, we can see what happened with that, don't we?
Now, it doesn't say are these immortals or are they long lived? Because the main theme of this is that there are no more vampires being born because they're
No,
born
that's
rather than
right.
being made.
So that was okay. At first, I was a little bit confused, just because okay, it's all about the two brothers. Um, I just where was I going? It was um, yeah. So that sort of got me because I was like, okay, we yes, we make vampires. We don't have them born. So it's like, okay, so these two special brothers are part human, part vampire, I guess, and there's no other vampires. So they need to make more brothers. So in the background, they've been trying to do all that stuff, experimenting. It's been going on for so long. Silas doesn't even know about it. It's been going on down downstairs in the dungeon or something or other. Um, so not that I got confused, but it was like, well, okay, so they're not going around making vampires by biting them and turning them into vampires, which would be an obvious way to get more brothers, wouldn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but they didn't go down that angle. So that was quite a cool thing that they didn't go down that sort of track. But it still left me wondering, well, how are you going to get more vampires? How long do you vampires live?
Yeah,
I mean,
because that
Silas and
was
Edgar was 100 years old and he was going rogue. He was
because
100.
that's what we
Yeah.
say. Silas as a young child, as Edgar's getting
Yes,
born,
exactly.
and
So they grow, and it's like, well, okay, that's how they've made this particular universe, is that they grow, which is another, but they didn't play on that enough. Like, it's not that I wanted backstory, but because they could have actually spent another half an hour on this film and filled us up in some actual backstory. But then when all the action started happening and all that, it's kind of like we didn't need to know anyway. But it would have been possibly maybe a flashback of, say, how Edgar and Silas were growing up, so that we got to see maybe a montage of a
or
memory or something would have
or a
been
funeral.
okay. Exactly. So yeah,
A,
yeah, yeah,
a funeral would
yeah,
have sorted it. Saying it's religious, right? And also
yeah.
Silas is moving up the ranks. But if everybody's immortal, it's not that the way religions work. They're heretical. Somebody passes on.
And then somebody goes up the line, and
Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
that's
exactly
usually
like
the
the
way.
Pope.
So if there had been a funeral, I think of what was he? He's made up there cardinal or something. So does that mean the previous one died?
Well, exactly.
Because
Or
what
how
would
long
happen if
has
they're
he
all
been a gardener?
immortal and there's no
Yep.
more being made? Then eventually everybody becomes a cardinal in this religion.
Well,
Does that make
exactly.
sense?
Yeah, of course, of course.
So,
But yeah, yeah. So I don't think it was a plot fail. I think it was just a mixture of them changing the laws, because this is a different type of film where we have vampires actually protecting humans, and then humans are now worshipping them in church and giving them blood. So it's
but human
it's
society
been
still carrying on and modernizing in this sort of steampunk. I mean, it's not like it's because when uh the father, Silas's
yep.
father's giving that talk to the children, talking about
Yes.
basically the human children, and he's showing like the ancient. or not ancient, but old medical apparatus, how they discovered genetic gene therapy, basically.
Ye- Yes, that was a really good explanation, actually, but it still didn't explain it completely. Yeah, but it was, yeah, and obviously they were human children, so they weren't vampire children.
No, it was
So
almost like Sunday school, wasn't it?
yeah, it was like a Sunday school Bible. That's the other thing I was wondering was like when he's praying, who's he praying to?
Yes, that's the
Yeah, they had me wondering, are you praying to God? I don't think so. Are you praying to the devil? No, I don't think so. Who the
is it
fuck
the
are you
first
praying to?
vampire that is the first vampire.
Exactly.
Once again, it's back to the have a lifespan, blah blah blah. Yeah. Here's the thing as well. If they'd explored all that, the film would be about 3 hours long, and you wouldn't have,
That's right.
you'd lose the pacing. And I genuinely think they were maybe hoping to make more of these.
By the end of it, I really thought there was going to be another one. They left it way open for that to happen.
Yeah,
Yeah. Especially when we get to the end, when we talk about what happens at the end. Yeah,
yeah.
definitely.
But then we'll have was it we meet the like with the whole vaccine peddling scheme, the landlord, and he's basically letting his tenants die and keeping the because apparently the government issue these things
Yep.
because a human scientist thought that experiment with did they actually call them vampires?
Nope.
They just said the
Nope. They're
brotherhood.
all
They just
called
said
brothers.
brotherhood, didn't they?
Yep.
They're just
Yep.
called
Yep.
the
Nobody
brotherhood.
actually mentioned. Exactly. So were they fucking vampires? Oh, sorry,
Well,
my French.
it's
Were they?
very that's clever, isn't it?
It is. It's clever because we know that
They,
they act like vampires. They're not really vampires, but they
and
are
they don't.
vampires, but
Yeah,
nobody says it.
yeah. Nobody
Yeah.
says it. They just call them the brotherhood, and yeah. Once again, this is just even if they hadn't said vampires in the description of this film. Yes, you would get the no wink sort of thing. The teeth, the log life, the drinking blood,
Yes.
but at
Yes.
the same time, no.
Yeah.
They're not going there.
Exactly.
They're leaving it open for your own interpretation, and yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
But
Me too.
is this not good storytelling that you're wanting to know more? If it was a
Oh,
bad story, you wouldn't
absolutely.
care.
Yeah. 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 Exactly. Exactly. You just go with it and just go, oh yeah, that was cool. Yeah. But no, there's a lot of good stuff going on in there. Yeah, very interesting. I love it. I love the way they change things up in this. I mean, it's not very often you get a whole entire new concept. The last thing I can think of is Twilight. Sorry, I know you hate me going on about Twilight, but that's a whole other universe again. You know what I mean? I, like, there's so many different vampire movies out there, and they are obviously vampire movies, but because they don't change the laws, they keep stringently
Hmm.
to all those things, garlic and crosses and all that sort of shit. It's really refreshing when you get a movie like this and say Twilight, where there's none of that shit going on. It's just brilliant. I love it when people change up vampires because it's my favorite. They're my favorite. They're my
Hmm.
favorite. All-time favorite monsters. If you call them monsters. Silas isn't really a monster.
It is a bit creepy though.
Mm. Oh no, he don't creep me out. He
Oh,
can creep me out anytime.
oh, you want him in the end of your
Yeah.
bed then, sort of needling over you and staring at you. Okay, if you're in that sort of thing.
Yeah, no, that is a bit creepy actually, that I'm coming to watch over you. Yeah.
When he's literally standing over in the bed and like brushing her hand and stuff, you're like,
Oh, yeah.
dude, no,
Oh, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, I
no,
mean, that was quite romantic, but it was actually really very intrusive. Yeah, if she had woken up, oh, yeah, that's a bit violating. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, well.
yeah. just ask her out for a coffee or a blood thing or whatever.
Take it to the bar and drink some blood. Yeah.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
don't stand if you're like someone, don't stand over their bed and sniff them and stroke them.
Oh, yeah. No,
That's
no,
not good.
no, you're right. That cringy. That was a bit cringy, that bit. Yeah. Yeah.
But then again, that's the whole thing. If your whole life's like this really stringent religion where you're
You can't do anything
you're
because you're getting tracked by the rest of the brothers, and it's
yeah, blah blah blah. You could understand how people's heads gets a bit twisted.
yeah, yeah, literally, but and figuratively, yeah.
But yeah, when you go to the scenes in the like almost like market square, I've got like an Oliver Twist, Victorian London, Charles Dickens
Definitely,
type.
especially with the paper boy, eh?
Yeah,
Paper.
and then you have the young lad that basically, yeah, he's the one he sees Edgar basically killing a woman, drinking her dry.
Yes. Yep.
And
Yep.
he's about 3 foot nothing. He's about 2 stones soaking wet. Like he's a weed. And this big burly bloke goes, "What did you do to her?" You're like,
Yeah.
mate, what? How
What a
you
loser.
equating that to that?
He's standing right there at the very beginning of the alleyway. How the hell did he get over there and do that to that lady? What are
But
you?
she'd have kicked him like out of the alley.
Oh, exactly. Like, flick you away, little man. Jesus.
It's just
Yeah.
that's the only bit of bad dialogue in this because you're just like, mate, that doesn't.
Yeah, that threw me. It did throw me. I was like, are you really seriously thinking that little boy, And then he looks up and he sees, what's happened. And it's like, oh, yeah, no, that's ridiculous.
I think
I don't
that's
know why they even said that. He should have just come out and gone, hey, boy, what are you doing? And then seen it. So,
yeah. Or the
and
boy
said,
went,
oh,
look,
my God.
look, or
Yeah.
something like
Look,
that.
look,
Not,
look. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So
but they're
maybe
trying
he
to.
had ad-libbed
Mm,
when he shouldn't have.
but I think they're trying to create this, like I said, almost Victorian era rough universe.
Oh,
Where everything's very
definitely.
harsh, and they're
Yeah.
trying to show this is the slums. This isn't a nice neighborhood. Everyone's sort of rough and not to each
Yeah.
other. But I think they went a wee bit overboard just with that one line of dialogue. It's the only bit that makes me go, "What are you doing?"
Yeah. 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 Like literally, that's the only one. That's the only line that was just not supposed to be there. It made no sense. No. So, oh well, never mind. We can let that one go.
No, Chris, you didn't look at the rota. Friday night's are my night, and we'll discuss this on Sunday during session 2 of or what we do in the Shadow game.
Oh God.
Our two characters had an argument about whose turn is it to go to which home. There's a rota and
Really?
everything.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah.
you're
We're,
playing the game.
yeah, we're playing Vampire the Masquerade, but we've decided to do it in what we do in the Shadows style.
Excellent. Oh my
And
God, that's
like I
so
said, the
cool.
second session, it's been ages since we played the first one. But yeah, we're playing
Wow.
that this Sunday on Adam's channel.
Vampires and the rest home. Oh God.
Well, no, we're playing it. We're all housemates, but we've got the nursing home. There's the orphanage. There's the other place, and we all got the rota who goes when and what night.
Let me guess, you're Colin Robinson.
No, I couldn't. With the mechanics of the game, I couldn't think of a way to bring him in. That
Oh.
character in. So yeah,
Bye bye, Colin.
yeah.
Bye bye, Colin
He's not
Robinson.
in this one unless he's that's a
Oh,
lot of fun.
he's so adorable.
Yeah, vampires are like it's all the classic monsters. They're fun to play about with and do different things with, and that obviously comedy. And this is serious, but they're using science, but they've also left a bit of mistake. Like I don't feel like it's
Definitely.
I don't
Definitely.
feel like this is a science fiction movie. I do feel like it's a vampire movie.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, if you watch it, you know straight away that it's a vampire movie. Yeah,
Mhm.
even though they don't need to say it, it is. So, even though they do say it, but yeah,
Yep. And then
and they
uh,
all look the same, and they all dress the same, and they all look very, very stunning, and it's pretty well done. I think they look cool. Mm,
yeah, and obviously we find out as well from us that they're not affected by sunlight, so
no,
we're not really told what weaknesses they have.
I didn't see any except for that vaccine dart that Silas was using, and even that's not even deadly.
No,
It's lethal,
the
but it's
over the
not
engineered
deadly. It's a
tranquilizer gun.
tranquilizer. Yeah. So I didn't see any weaknesses at all. I mean, they pretty much can do whatever they want. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
They're that powerful, that strong. Yeah.
So they're definitely more powerful than humans, but they can still be killed, and they're still affected by pharmaceuticals. Uh, they can get sick.
Yeah, that was interesting. That was also very interesting. The getting sick, vampire getting sick of a human. I can't say if I know if that's happened before in another film, in another vampire film, but it's usually the blood is so strong it will kill off any sort of bad diseases and stuff like that that their victims could be. But then again, what were we watching? Was it What We Do in the Shadows? And they were all getting drunk. They all got drunk because what was that? They fed off the drunk. Oh, Wellington Paranormal, I think. Remember, and they all got drunk
Oh
and
yeah.
on mushrooms
Oh, it was
or
mushrooms.
high or something. That's right.
That's
Yeah. So no, it wasn't. It wasn't.
yep.
What We Do in the Shadows,
No,
was
but
it?
Edgar
No,
was basically he's making a super virus. He's trying to create new
that's
brothers
right.
and a sister.
Yeah.
Actually, there hasn't been a sister that's been born,
Oh,
so that's what they're
at
trying to
all.
do.
Yep.
So I think that these are long lived. They're not immortal because if they're immortal, they wouldn't care.
Yeah.
So they
Yeah.
wouldn't be
That's
worried about
true.
more population because if they're
Yeah.
um
If they're all going to live, they've got nothing to worry about if they're going to live forever because I mean, there's what, hundreds of them,
yeah,
thousands of them, possibly in the Brotherhood. So yeah, that's interesting. I didn't even think about that until now, till we were talking about that
yeah,
mortality. If they're mortals or how long they live for and all that sort of stuff.
yeah. I
Yeah.
think that's kind of answered the question because if they wouldn't be worried about making more if they live forever.
No, they
So
wouldn't have to.
obviously they live a very long time, more than 100 years, maybe. Um, and they know that they've existed for 300 years,
Yep, we know that much.
so
So,
they haven't been
which
around
is
for
quite a long
centuries and
time.
centuries and centuries, or thousands of years, or always part of mythos. They're like a new race of uh yeah, they'll
Did
basically
we
say
ever?
that they're a new race of people, and they quickly organize themselves, and by using religion, basically that's how they didn't get killed off. And
Yes.
humans, by messing with them, oh, this is something different, an experiment. That's how they ended up with a massive influenza pandemic because they were messing with
Yes.
vampire DNA or Brotherhood DNA.
Yes. That's
And that's back to the speech of what happens when people, scientists, bad scientists did this and that, and it's all the bad things,
yep.
but then we're
Mm-hmm.
finding out that they're trying to carry on as a race or a species
Yep.
because their numbers are dwindling.
Yeah, but why? So yeah, maybe they
I
are
think we
dying off.
needed a funeral scene. I think a funeral scene would have sorted this out, and maybe or visiting the grave, like one of their rituals, visiting the grave of the first one.
Yes. Because I think when he's talking, when the cardinal's talking to the little kids, the human kids,
Hmm.
he is. he does mention someone, so that the one that came up with the mixture of the DNA or whatever they, so so obviously there was someone who has passed. So it would have been, I think, like you said, a funeral would have cleared it up, to let us know that they're not mortal, but they do have a long life. And we would have been able to see, well, how long did that person live for? Was it 600 years? Or I
Well, it
think
wouldn't
things
have been
like
more
that.
than 300.
Well, yeah, no, exactly, because we
Yeah,
know
so
it was
we've got a
300.
time limit. That's what I mean. We've got a time sample that's at 300 years.
Yeah, but still so broad, isn't it? Does
So yeah,
they live for 300 years, or is it 200 years, or is it 100 years?
yeah.
If it was 100 years, they wouldn't care so much about Edgar because he's 100. So he'd die soon, so we know it's not 100. So I guess it's just left up to interpretation.
Mm.
Yeah.
I have a feeling that we're planning to explore this more.
I really do too, especially by the end of it, because I think a lot of backstory would have come out in the second one. Not that I'm all big on backstory, but I think because this was such a good movie and such a great concept that they could have carried this on. Maybe they didn't get the budget, or maybe it flopped. We don't know. I don't. I
We don't
don't
know how it
even.
got released. That's the thing, because this is one of them hidden gems that if we weren't looking for it, it's not in the
You wouldn't
zeitgeist.
find it. No. How? I mean, it was filmed here in New Zealand. I've got no idea why the hell I didn't see it, which is really
But once
weird.
again, how many films are filmed and the go? You know, what I mean, the go on the. I think we've talked about this. The go on the films festival circuit. To go maybe on a TV channel,
Yes.
because the TV
Yeah.
channels were still a big thing back in 2006.
Yeah, they were. Yeah, shit, yeah.
Yeah.
Because we
So
didn't have Netflix or anything like that. No, and
it
nobody was hard going on YouTube. So, mm,
it's a hard one to I probably have to look into the whole
yeah,
story behind it if they even bothered, because generally
I tried looking. I
they don't
couldn't
really
find
go into stuff
anything.
unless there's a DVD release or a Blu-ray release.
Yeah, which I'm not even. That I didn't even say anything about that. Didn't even say cinema or anything. So I wouldn't bugger. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just
And obviously,
one
since
of
it
those
hasn't made a
hidden
sequel
gems.
since, there's no point because they're not carrying on. It didn't land for
Yeah,
whatever reason, and
unless they change the name. That's what they've done with some of them. If they've changed the name completely, and so you don't know that it's actually the sequel. Um, but then again, I didn't see anything on there about a sequel, so I'm not sure.
let's check
It would
out.
have been interesting. It would have been really good if
Let's
they
check
had
the
carried this on.
Wicked
I'm
here.
not really one for sequels, but this one would have been quite a good one to have. Are you researching?
So yeah, so it was released at the Cannes Film Festival 2005.
Yeah.
20th Century Fox purchased the North American rights for sort of key territories. Oh, it was steampunk? Oh, right, that is steampunk. The steampunk film
Yeah.
set about
Yeah,
the
yeah,
medium
yeah,
and
yeah. So yeah,
um,
you picked up on it straight away. Yeah.
they're a different person for Edgar. That's the plot. Because there's not really much about.
No, I even looked through the resources there, and there was still nothing I could. I didn't actually open them all up, but I had a look to see if there's any links to anything. But no, I couldn't find anything. Considering it's a star-studded cast of famous New Zealand actors, I'm surprised there's nothing more about it. But oh well.
The ba, ba, ba.
Mind you, didn't look at International Movie Database.
That's what I was on there, but it doesn't tell you anything.
Oh yeah, no, I went on to Wiki.
Yeah, I was on Wikipedia as well, and just it's not. I'm
Yeah,
just saying there's any
it's nothing. Oh, I forgot to say hi, Chris.
uh, uh, New Zealand. Nope. It's one of them ones that was made. Doesn't tell you much about it. So it was just one of them ones that was just got made. It just fell through the cracks, which is a shame.
Yep.
But then again, is that not part? That's almost like a little treasure hunt, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, if you hadn't have said about it, I would have had no idea. Like, I couldn't even remember the name of it. I keep thinking Pleasant Creatures. So
Mm-hmm.
I was looking up Pleasant Creatures, and then when you said perfect, it was like, oh my goodness. Now I know why I couldn't find it. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just, I mean, it's very hard to find. I had to go on, hey, I had to go and hire it at the library. There was nowhere for me to watch it. Trust me, I even looked on some other sites, and it wasn't there. And I was like, so how the hell did you get hold of it, Colin?
I got it on
You
Amazon.
must have found it somewhere. Right. Oh, okay. All right.
And there's a site called Plex that has its own shows, but it has like a what do you call up a film, and then links the various platforms, and it was on Amazon.
Oh, wow.
So
Oh,
it's
that's really good.
like I said, it's just one of them ones that
It was so hidden over here that, like I said, I had to do it, get it from the library, which was really cool because I didn't even know you could. There's a website called Hoopla or something like that, and you just use your library card and you just go in like online, hire them for 3 days. It's like, wow, I didn't even know that. So now I've got a new outlet for finding these little hidden gems.
But this is it's a shame though more people don't know about this movie because so much effort went into it.
I know. Maybe it flopped back then, but if it came back into the zeitgeist now, I swear people would have loved it. Yeah.
This to me was like a lower budget version of like the Underworld movies.
Yep.
This could have started up its own
Definitely.
thing.
Yep. It could have.
And
It would have gone off with a bang. Yeah.
it just didn't hit
Oh,
it's
well.
one of them things. And a lot of being a success is luck, as much as you try to be formulaic about it or work it out. A lot of success or getting things out there is luck. And it's either right place, right time, or not at all.
Yeah, that was a strange era though, 2006 and 2007 though, wasn't it? It was strange. It was a strange type of stuff going on there with DVDs and if things are going to cinema or not. And yeah, I don't know.
Well, basically, the home rental market was coming to an end. Video shops were closing.
It was.
Because you could purchase. It was easier to go to a store and purchase your own DVD of something.
Oh, absolutely.
So it was that sort of
era.
It. And it was around then. I always talk about when I became unplugged, where a lot of us were just basically switched off from cable TV.
Yeah.
And going, why am I wasting time on a subscription to get 200 channels of absolute shite and things that I don't watch? Where if, say, for example, they made a TV show and you really liked it, you just bought the box set. You didn't bother watching TV. You just
Sopranos, go and buy the whole thing. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So it was a very strange sort of
still
era.
analog era. You know what I mean? It was the transition between analog and digital. And it was before, because I say the degrading of movies happened around about 2010. That's when things started to fall apart in the movie industry. Here, there was shite getting produced, but there's still enough gems. And this once again, your mid-budget, your small-budget movies are still getting made, so there's plenty there to go through. And like I said, they could just stop making movies now and never make another one. There's so much stuff out there. We could take about 10 lifetimes to get through it all.
Yep, 100%. Definitely.
That's why I don't understand. See the vampire trope of if you're a vampire and you're immortal, you sit and you brood in your throne room and you get bored and lonely. It's like, hold on, I've got 10 seasons of such and such to watch, or I've got this, or I've got to find this whole show. That'll take me the next 50 years to catch up on all this.
Exactly.
I've all these books to read. That'll take me another 100 years.
Yeah, exactly.
There's a
It'll take
north,
me
right?
100 of years to get through the Vatican vaults. So,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
I
Spend
never
100 years
understood
in the
that trope
vault.
with, oh, woe was me, I'm immortal, I'm going to sit in my big castle and brood on the throne because there's too much to do.
Yeah, that's old school Dracula, isn't it, really?
Yeah.
Sitting in his cave. Yeah.
Lamenting about
His
being
cave or his
immortal.
castle. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Castlevania did it, and Vampire Hunter D did it.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, the brooding
Yes.
vampire.
Yes. Oh, well, yeah.
Um,
Must be very, very, very bored vampires.
it's not enough
There's
imagination.
so much to do. Oh my god. If you 300, 400, 500 years, you'd be, oh my god, there's so much you could do.
Spend
Absolutely.
spend 10 years, perfecting something. Take a
Exactly.
hobby, learn a skill, become a carpenter, master carpenter. Learn, and
Yeah,
then
but then again, you're so onto it and so intelligent, and so that as a vampire, superpowers and all that sort of stuff. You probably learn to play all the classics in like 5 days or something on the piano, and
but
I
would you
don't
though?
know. Yeah, no, exactly. No, you'd take your time, wouldn't you? Yeah.
Oh well, flip sake, look at that dopey one we watched. Tom Hiddleston's character.
Oh,
He bought
oh
he's banned
God,
all the
what was
classic
that?
guitars. Utter crap. That's what it
Oh,
was.
yeah.
Tilda
So
Swinton.
out of crap, I can't remember the name of
Yeah,
it. Yes, that's. I quite like him sometimes. Sometimes, yeah. Anyway.
yeah.
Oh
I
dear.
suppose they have done it well by making it a religion and that, and their life being ritual and dogma, etc. Yeah, I suppose that's a way to deal with every immortality. Everything every day is the same. You're locked in this thing. You're born into something.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that
the
makes
idea of
perfect sense.
service. So yeah, it kind of makes sense for them to do what they did. And Edgar, by trying to make more brothers, ends up himself getting infected, because that's what this is basically down to. He's got infected with this virus
Yeah.
that just sent him over the edge.
Yeah. It's kind of sad as well, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and there's no hope for
Yeah.
him. Like as it progresses, we find out that he's basically, he wants Silas to join him,
Yeah.
and this is all a game. He's not killing. He's not going around. He's not a serial killer. He's actually got purpose. He's doing this all for a
Yeah.
reason.
Yeah. A very nasty reason.
Mm-hmm.
But like he said, it's in his blood, and that's what he's supposed to be doing. So I think all logic went out the window.
Well, when you
And it's
see,
just like I said, he's gone rogue as far as I'm concerned.
yeah, but when you see what
Uh,
happens to the humans when when the infected, they taste the infected blood.
yeah. Yeah. Oh, that's nasty. mm. Ugh.
Yeah.
Yuck.
But yeah,
Handlers.
the church decided they're going to cover up one of their members as being naughty, and they don't want a scandal. So instead of dealing with it and nipping in the bud straight away, now we'll cover it up. We've seen that before. That's like, this is all really close to knuckle with
Like, seriously, did they predict that as well? I mean,
well,
that's around about the time a lot of people were getting caught doing
yes,
things.
and it turned out it was a standard practice of the particular church to move their diddlers to a different place, and you're like, all right, okay, that solves the problem. Yeah, okay, that's not going to come to light at
Yes.
all.
Not that I'm going to get into religion, but
No, that's what I mean. We
seriously, some
just
places yeah.
this is where I'm talking about subtext as well. This is where they're not directly going blah blah blah. They're showing how the knee jerk. It's all about knee jerk reactions, isn't it?
It
And
is.
how
It is. And they don't, yep.
when your life
Yep.
becomes a knee jerk reaction, and there's a particular scene in the police station where Lily, she's introduced. Obviously, she's the captain,
Yep. She is. Chief.
But
Chief. Yeah.
when
Whatever.
she's
Chief.
told this is political now, you're like,
Yes.
oh, all of a sudden, everything, any common sense, any right and wrong, any sense of just doing your duties out the window. Once those words are uttered, this is political now. You just know
Yep.
it's all about arse covering and saving face and shenanigans and just horribleness, everything that's associated with those words. Um,
And she's told them twice. She said that she has been told like bang bang in front. This is political. Then the next sentence when she's in the scene at the inside the office, she's also told again this is political. So they did say it twice, which means that it was going to be a political cover up as such.
mhm.
So not so much political. I think they meant. Do you think political, or did
Well,
you
not
think?
political as
And
a word. And this is the problem because conversation has been so dumbed down today, and everyone's got their buzzwords because they're called the action words. They're looking to.
yeah,
You've office politics, you've religious politics, you've party
that's right.
political politics. You know what I mean? You've all sorts of. You get any group of people together, and you've got politics.
There's a politic in there somewhere. There's some
Yeah,
sort of politics in there
any
somewhere.
large group or organization, even if it's a hobby, you see how many clubs, youth organizations, or even God, I'm seeing it even now on a website, one of the horror websites I'm part of. Facebook groups, look at the politicking goes on there between people. It happens. It's part of human. It's part of human society, and it
It
happens at
is.
all sorts of levels. Doesn't mean it's a good thing. It's a way people maneuver and interact and gain favor and power and sort out pecking orders.
Yeah.
But it's
Probably since the
also
beginning of time, that this has been going on, like, organizations and I don't know, what would you call them? Different tribes, I guess.
yep.
From back then, sort of thing. It's probably primordial or something like that. I don't know, but yeah,
It's but you see it in the animal
yeah,
kingdom too. You look at a wolf pack.
yes, that's right. Yep,
There's politicking goes on.
yes, definitely.
No, I mean,
Yep,
especially when a younger cub's trying to move up and stuff. You know what I mean? You just people that study animals sees things go on. I mean, it's just part of being alive. It's a way that we obviously we take it to another level because that's how you build society as well. That's how you create
yep,
order. But
that's
this
right.
movie's showing that when that becomes the focus, when protecting the status quo, or you do everything on a knee jerk reaction because of politicking for whatever reason,
Yep.
it never leads to good places.
No, no, and as we've seen in this one, there's the major cover up.
And Edgar understands this, and he's playing the politicking as well.
He is. He is. He's part of the problem, and he is part of the. Well, he wants to make his own little coven, I suppose, of
No, he wants to just tear everything
nasty.
down.
Yeah,
He
he
says he's
does.
going to
He
kill them
does.
all. He's going to tear it all down.
All of
That's
them.
his.
Yeah, and that's a very scary prospect to think that the people looking after you, as humans, we've got. Just imagine having vampires, at the top of the food chain, and they're actually running things. I mean, I didn't see anything in there about a government. I didn't
Well,
see
that was
anything
happening in
about.
parallel.
Yeah,
Because
but we didn't. It
no, I mean,
wasn't
we'll talk about
rubbed in our face.
when they set up the quarantine area when they're going to bomb it, and the Queen moved out of of her residence out of the city. Um,
True.
they had all that, so that's going in parallel. This is obviously a snapshot of a bigger universe, and once again,
Yes.
I think because it was so well written, you wanted to know more.
Yeah. Right. That's
That's the
right.
thing. If this was terrible, I wouldn't care.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
wouldn't be
Yeah.
asking these
Absolutely.
questions.
Yes, exactly. Because normally I'm like, oh no, we didn't need that backstory. That was just fluffing around bullshit. And it's like, no, not at all. And this one, I just want to know more and more and more. Which I can live without it, but it would have made it, just an extra 15 minutes or something,
I
just a
don't
couple
think
of
for this
tweaks here
movie.
and there.
I think if I had a bunch of sequels, they could have interjected. If they kept the same pace with the
I could
sequels,
have made a whole universe.
that's what I said. Because the world
Yeah,
building is so detailed and
yeah,
done so well, and that's massive. And once again, a
yeah,
tiny budget. It just shows us. My complaint with modern movies is that the budgets are skyrocketed, and we're getting crap quality, and it's because we don't have storytellers anymore, and most of the budgets paid in bullshit jobs and people and so there's all wastage happening, and it's a grift. It's not
yeah,
providing entertainment anymore. It's just a pure grift now.
yeah.
I'm gonna see
Oh,
it.
I honestly, I get so angry when I hear that a movie cost $500 million to make. It really irks me that entertainment can take over humanity, if you know what I mean. Like, instead of putting that towards a homeless shelter or something like that, they go and to go make a fucking movie with it. Are you kidding me? It's just like, oh, I don't care what sort of movie it is.
Hmm.
The fact that you're spending that amount of money when the world, is there's a third world country over there that needs some water supply. It just fucking pisses me off. I hate it. That's why I hate Hollywood, because they spend too much money on bullshit that could have gone somewhere else.
Yeah, but
Sorry,
that's their whole currency of that's what I said. That's why movies they're not good now because they've
no,
built the rod for their own back, and it's all
yeah,
escalated. Here's $11 million, and it didn't say whether it was
yep.
US or New Zealand dollars, so I don't know what the exchange is, but it's still
Well,
nothing of a
true, you're
budget.
right.
There's a
Yeah,
movie they made recently, Godzilla minus one, on the same budget.
yep.
That was $11 million. They made Godzilla minus one, and that was a fantastic movie. Like that looked
I
better
still
than
gotta watch it.
the $200 million Godzilla movie that came out the same like within months of it.
That's right. Yes,
I couldn't
yes.
even watch that one, Godzilla X Kong.
That's it.
I
Oh
got
God, I
about
wouldn't even watch that. No.
10 minutes into it, if that, and I just switched off and went, nah. Where Godzilla minus one was
Oh,
like 11 million, the same budget as this movie, and it looked fantastic and it was tight. It had a great storyline. There was uh the redemption arc, I mean, it wasn't so much a hero's journey, it was a redemption arc story and forgiveness and
wow.
regret and all this kind of stuff, and a big huge monster. It looked bloody amazing, like the Godzilla in that. Have you seen that?
No, I've
Oh
got
my
it on
god,
my
you have
watch
to like
list.
even when
I don't
Godzilla
have
does
enough
his
time in
goes
the
to
day
his
anymore.
yeah.
Yes, no, I remember when it came out, you were going to watch it. You were really looking forward to watching it, and I think you watched it at the movies, didn't you?
Yeah, I
And
wasn't disappointed. It was brilliant. I didn't
no,
review it. I should have.
see,
I don't know whether it counts as a horror movie. There was horror elements to it, but
well, isn't Godzilla a universal monster?
no, it was
So
Toho
you
Studios, Japan,
oh,
nineteen
oh,
fifty four.
that goes to
The
show me
first
what
came
I
out,
know about God.
and it
Right.
was Toho
Okay.
Studios again that made that one. Fraction of the cost, and even when it spikes actually jut out when he goes to do the fire breath, like it's just the mechanics of it and it's beautiful. Where
Wow.
the CGI fest had big shiny lights and
Right.
the dialogue
Okay.
was painful. Like I don't even think I got to the first whatever happened. I just heard the actors speak and I went, nah, I'm out.
Oh no. Well, that's what happens when you have two Godzilla movies coming out at the same
No, but
time.
it's good. It's good that happened. It was
So
good the fact you got to see,
yeah,
oh, here's the $11 million movie and
yeah,
here's the 200 million one, and the 200 odd million one was shit
$200
and
million.
looked cheap. And it's
That's
the same as
oh
this
my
one.
god. I'd watch it just to see the comparison.
Yeah,
Mm,
it's worth maybe, but you don't need to watch the whole of the other movie because you just get 10 minutes in it and you're like, nah, I've
yep,
seen enough. Done.
yep.
But yeah,
Oh
Godzilla
dear.
minus one, watch that. Oh my god, it's such a
I will.
good movie.
Yeah, I still got to watch Antlers and Martyrs as well. That's on my
Oh yeah.
top of the list to watch. So, yeah, sweet.
But yeah, this movie has done the same thing. It's a limited budget, but they've put so much work into it. And the really, you suspend disbelief and you go into this universe. You know you're not in the real world. You're in a different universe, different time. Like
Completely.
with the airships and that, the blimps, it reminds me of Batman the animated series.
That's what I was trying to get to.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah.
couldn't remember which one it was.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Batman the animated
absolutely.
series. They have that sort of. It's
Gotham. It
almost.
looks like
It's not
Gotham.
1960s. It's 1950s noir. But they've done this with steampunk, where that was
Yes,
1950s noir style, and
exactly right.
it worked.
So it did, and it did have that very Victorian vibe. Yep, absolutely. It was a mixture of this and that, and it worked really well. Yeah, and it really added to the because setting's so important, and some people it's hit and miss, I suppose, but I think they really, really did really well. It actually reminds me a little bit of some of Sir Peter Jackson's earlier work.
Yes.
Mm, I can't remember what it was. Frighteners, was it?
No,
Yeah, I think it
Frighteners
was.
was the Michael J. Fox one. That
Yeah, didn't they go back
I
in
would
time in that
say
one?
oh my god, Heavenly Creatures.
Heavenly
I would
Creatures.
say this is long par with Heavenly Creatures,
Yeah, definitely. Right
where
up there, yeah.
it's
I
it's a
wonder if
real
the
world, but
director.
when he steps into the fantasy world of those two, you
Yeah,
really go
oh,
there.
yes, that's right, yes. Fucking
That
brilliant
sandcastle
movie.
scene in that movie is still one of the best
Oh,
transition
yeah,
between
isn't
a
it?
transition shot. It's still amazing. Like that still blows me away the way he did that.
Right back then, all those years ago. Yeah,
Hmm.
it's brilliant. Yeah. So I wonder if this director, I think he's a Kiwi. I don't know. I'll have to find out.
I said there's a good chance. Well,
Hmm.
let me find out.
Because it had a very New Zealand flavour to it as well with some of the scenes. So I'm just wondering if he actually is in New Zealand because I don't know many directors over here.
Let's have a look. Glenn Standring
Because the name didn't ring a
has
bell.
BFM film, first class honours degree in archaeology. It's for a film at any minute. It's low budget, about demons, starring New Zealand. Well, he's done a couple. Not so much about him. His first, The Irrefutable Truth About Demons, starring New Zealand actor Carl Urban.
Oh,
Second film was
I love
this is his second film.
Wow.
Doesn't have much.
What?
He doesn't have much of a back catalog. Flip. That's
If that was his second film, that's freaking
Yeah, he's a
amazing.
New Zealand filmmaker. That was his
Oh my
head
God, but he's
director
disappeared.
with a background in animation. Um,
Oh, maybe he went down that road.
Here we go. As New Zealand's strong scriptwriter, producer, film director, working in action, horror, and fantasy genres. He's from Fielding,
Right. Oh,
North
wow.
Island.
Yeah.
He's descended from Glaswegians and Mancunians, so that's a mix and a half.
He's what?
He's descended from Glaswegians and Mancunians, flipping Glasgow and
Oh,
Manchester. That's a mix and a half. Flip sake, that's
oh, far out.
right.
Yes, we've got a lot of mixed
Oh, we've
breeds
just found
over
another
here.
movie, by the way.
Oh, did you?
Yes, the Irrefutable Truth About Demons.
Never
Stars
watched
Carl
it.
Urban,
And that's
2000. Right, we're adding that to the list.
excellent.
We've just found
Yes,
another movie
he's
to watch.
my favourite New Zealand actor of all time, Carl Urban. Fuck, he's amazing. He's so
I'm worried that
amazing.
they're going to Amazon apparently is talking about carrying on with Judge Dredd, rather making it a TV show with him. But I think Amazon's going to rate it. Oh god, there's another movie that was brilliant and flopped at the box office, and then it's more than made its money back with DVD sales at the time, and it's people have been calling for a
Judge
sequel.
Dredd,
Yeah, but it's
the
just called
one with
Dredd,
Carl Urban.
the Carl Urban one.
Yeah,
Have you seen that?
is that the one? I loved it. I absolutely
Brilliant.
loved it. It's freaking. I've actually got it stored on my PS4 because it was
Oh,
that. PS3. Sorry, we've got a PS5 too,
And
but
Lena
yeah,
Headey playing
PS3.
Mama and
Yeah.
that. Oh my god, that was
Oh yeah, man, that was awesome.
one of the
Yeah,
first proper uses of 3D, because that's what put everybody off. I think was because it was a 3D movie, but
yeah. I didn't
it
watch it in 3D, but
no,
yeah,
but
yeah, yeah.
you can see it working for the slow mo. I did. It was for the it worked for the
I
slow mo
bet.
scenes.
Yeah, because there were lots of those, the blowing up, the apartments blowing up and them firing missiles or whatever at each
Yeah,
other. And
yeah, but
what do you
when they're
call those
taking the
things?
drug slow
Bazookas.
mo, you know, what I mean, that's what they use the 3D for.
Yes.
The
Oh, wow. For those scenes.
yes,
That's, oh, wow.
so it
Okay,
made
that makes sense.
sense. Um,
Yeah.
Such a waste, but yeah, I'm adding that to the list.
Yeah, it flopped,
Yeah,
which sucked. But, and I actually wasn't going to watch it because it flopped. But then I watched it and I was like, I loved it.
I never heard of that actress again that played Anderson.
No, I
She
don't
was a
even know
great
who.
choice,
I
even
don't even
though
know her
in the
name.
comics, Anderson's more sassy, but you
Yeah.
could see that actress becoming, you know, going from raw rookie to maybe putting on a bit of sass later on.
Yeah. Well, no, I don't know what happened. Don't
Yeah,
know. No, never heard of her.
yeah. But anyway,
No, I was just
I'm
watching
sticking that on
because
the
he
list.
was in.
We're going to be covering this one. Where were we?
Oh yeah, Perfect
Yeah,
Creature.
back to movie. Yeah, yeah. This movie, small budget, did brilliantly, right into detail. Yeah, we're just looking at other movies that went right into detail.
Yeah.
I don't think Dreb is a massive budget either. Yeah, and he's a New Zealand director. He hasn't done very much. That's what I was looking for his back catalogue. That's what I was
Hmm,
doing.
that's really interesting.
Yeah, he
Wow,
hasn't done. Yeah,
what a
let's go
shame.
through. The Deadlands. It's a the Deadlands. Is that another horror?
I haven't
Oh,
watched
it's an
that one
action
either.
film. It's a Maori language action film shot in Auckland.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah, that sounds a bit creepy.
Yep. Yeah,
Mm,
that's it. He hasn't
yeah.
done.
Oh, maybe he went off and did something else.
Oh, hold on. This is a horror in a world where the dead now haunt the living. A Maori warrior and a young woman quest to find who broke the world and how to close the breach between the living and the dead.
Wow. Oh, that sounds creepy.
Oh, is it a series? It's a series.
Like a TV series.
Yeah, 8
Really?
episodes.
Oh, I was watching TV back then, so I don't know why. Well, weird.
Yeah, there's only been one.
Deadland.
There's only one season of it.
Oh no. Oh well.
Oh man, but is it? Are these? Is it? Um, these is this movie for the masses? Do you think that's what it is? This is a quirky movie. Definitely a niche market. You have to be into it, I think.
Are you talking about Perfect Creature?
Yes.
It's a niche market.
Would you think so?
Mm, I think you would have to be into vampires to get. I don't know. It's
Like this is a dark
mm,
universe. There's no mistaking that. There's a really dark universe.
it is, and it has some graphic scenes in it. Um, yeah, I guess. I mean,
It's
because
not
you know it's a
cartoon violence.
vampire
It's
one.
proper, you know, gritty. Like the people getting infected
The
with
bites.
the
Yeah.
bites and it was but it was believable. I could. Do you know why he's
Oh,
there's a lot of vampire movies and spray more blood around themselves than actually eat, and then they wonder why they're hungry all the time. Um,
yeah. Yeah.
I always find that laughable. This was believable.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Absolutely. Right from the even when Edgar was born, okay, usually they have a newborn, right, and everything looks nice and clean. Well, this baby wasn't, and I
No.
like that because that's what's supposed to happen. Babies don't come out clean, mate. You know what I mean? So you saw a little bit of blood, just a little bit of blood on the side of the blanket on the in the crib. I think that was the first indication that the CGI and, well, whatever. I mean, the teeth in the baby. I mean, all those things are
I thought that
just.
was well done.
I did too. That's what I mean. That's
I thought,
that's what got me straight away. I was like, no, this is going to be a top notch movie, definitely. If I see blood next to that baby, that's an indication to me they're doing everything they can with attention to detail.
Mhm.
I'm sick of watching movies where they stab someone and that the knife comes out clean. That shit pisses me off.
Yes.
Yeah, and then they go off and kill someone else, and then the knife's still clean. It's like, why didn't you just put some fucking tomato sauce on it, mate? It's like, just do
Yeah.
something. It's not realistic. So the bites and the scenes were really graphic. Oh yeah, like they ripped. You don't very often see that sort of wound from a vampire. You see
No,
the two
proper rip.
bites, and yeah, it was a proper rip, hey. So yeah, very well done. So it's got some really graphic scenes in there. But you're right. I suppose some people don't like vampire movies, so they won't watch them at all. So if they read the log line or whatever about this film, they'll know that it's a vampire film, I guess, and that it's got dark undertones.
Mhm.
And obviously, if they don't like it, they'll turn it off. So,
And there's definitely there's a really dark tone with this, so I don't think it's for general audiences. It's not an action movie.
no,
There's action in it, but
no,
it's
yeah.
and maybe it's a bit
Vampires,
much.
though, some people either like them or they don't. Like werewolves, I'm not a werewolf person, so I don't watch werewolf films. And I know I've missed out on a few good ones, but I just that whole werewolf thing just it doesn't do anything for me. Whereas vampires do. So I would be put off by a werewolf film, say, if it set it in the storyline. So yeah, so Universal Monsters and that really is a sort of niche market in itself, isn't it? So,
But it was a
because some
staple
people
back
don't
in the
like
day.
them.
It was funny how mainstream horror was, and then I think around about the 60s, everything became sanitized, and then it became a taboo.
Yeah.
Um,
Yep.
just seeing what I'm saying. I think it's around about the 60s this all happened. But yeah, maybe it's about there's a lot of a lot of questions you're asking us. Maybe a lot of suggestions about the world. Like I said, it's designed, I think, for more than to be created.
Yeah.
But maybe that's not, or maybe just didn't get around enough. I don't know. This movie should be more in the zeitgeist than what it is. It's a brilliant movie,
It should be.
and the fact it's 2006 is so rewatchable.
I think part of the problem is that it's New Zealand. I mean, we're not even on the map. Seriously, I looked through the map the other day on Google, and I was just trying to look geography wise about the oceans around our New Zealand. I wanted to know. We're not even on the map. I couldn't even believe it. There was only like a couple of maps I could find that had New Zealand on it. It's just like, so maybe it's got to do with people just back then, they're like, New Zealand, what? It wasn't until Peter Jackson's Lord of the Rings that everyone was like, oh, is that where New Zealand is? Oh, okay. So before then, we were nobody. So that would explain why a lot of these golden gems are impossible to find.
But
now.
I suppose there's a chance now to get out there and people to appreciate them. And if this channel at least get one person to check it out that they haven't even thought of, then there you go. We've done something positive.
Yeah, I hope so. I let people know that we were going to be looking at this, so I don't know if anyone's actually watched it that I know, but
I highly recommend people do. It's a good movie. It is.
Disappointed.
and I didn't
Not at all.
feel apart from that one line of dialogue, like even the
Apart from
interaction between the characters. Like you've got the police sergeant, and he really doesn't like Silas,
no,
but
not at
there's
all.
not this over the top antagonism. It's just that distrust. But
No. I liked that actually. That he was just about I'm going to get you, Silas, and then he changes his mind, sort of thing. You see him just kind of put the gun back again, and it's like, yeah, even he's a famous New Zealand actor, but that was really cool. I think because he obviously had to think, well, what was going to happen if he did kill Silas? He'd be in. Well, he couldn't kill him anyway. Well, could he kill him?
I think you could.
That's the other thing.
I think these vampires can be killed. They're just stronger than humans. But if you get the drop on them,
Yeah, because Silas hit his
they
head
wouldn't
a
have
few
sent a human.
times
You know
and
what I mean? They wouldn't
dropped
have
out.
sent a human team, and they were killed in the past. So it is possible. It's just not easy.
Yes,
1-on-1, you
yes,
have the.
yes.
But once again, I didn't feel this was. This felt grounded.
Oh,
I could believe
absolutely.
this
Like
world
when I'm
existing.
watching it, yeah, exactly. Exactly. Absolutely. Like it almost makes you think, well, there is a possibility that we could coexist alongside them, but then it's like, as a religion, nah.
No, but that works. If you think about it, they
Mm,
have people willingly queue up for their services to get
yeah.
their blood.
God. Could you just imagine? Oh
Look at the
God.
NHS over here. They always have blood donation drives. People
Yep.
queue up
Over
and give
here
their blood
too.
willingly.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
No, I mean
I
that's
know people
been
who. Mm,
so it's
yep.
not beyond the realms of possibility.
It's not at all. Yeah, absolutely.
There you go.
And
It's
other thing though that sort of kind of annoyed me was hearing their footsteps. So that kind of humanized them for me, like as in they're not complete vampires, even though they're supposed to be, because there's the law gone again where you don't hear a vampire coming because you just don't hear them. They're so light on their feet, and they glide, and they just blink, and they're somewhere. They can just blink. I want to be in the library, and they blink, and next minute
mm,
they're in the library. So that kind of humanized them for me as well, hearing their footsteps, because and the law of vampires, you can't hear them coming, right? So
yeah,
yeah,
but
so
that's
it was a little bit of a
supernatural aspect.
twist.
That's this is where
Yeah,
a supernatural vampire, has these abilities. But this is back to this is one of the ones where it explores that it's just a virus. Now, normally, like I said, I don't like these because
yeah,
it's been done so badly, but this one is really good, and because they made it its own universe, they actually put it completely into another world.
totally,
It's what makes it
totally.
work and made me
Yeah,
engage. Like I've reviewed loads of movies where it's just a virus and it bores me.
yeah, yeah, yep. Oh, and then they go and mix the virus in with blimmin' zombies, and oh my
Yeah,
goodness, it's just like keep a zombie movie to itself or a vampire movie to itself, unless you're going to produce something that's mind blowing. And this was to me, the concepts, the just the way they did things, and it's just and you really do invest in the characters. I mean, when I thought Silas was a goner, I mean, I was literally like, no, you can't do that. You can't kill him off. I think, and I didn't want anything to happen to Lily. I really, really invested in her character because she's lost a daughter, you know, um,
well, they didn't
and
make her a girl boss. That's the thing. That made her an
no,
actual rounded. That she was competent, but she wasn't a girl boss. She had feelings. She got knocked out. She got punched. Um,
she punched out somebody as well.
no, but she got
Well,
punched out
she's
herself. I mean, that's the whole thing. She was a human character. She wasn't completely infallible, and that way you had some sort of idea that she could get killed or something could happen to her. You didn't know, so
yeah,
you're vested in her.
yes, damn right.
Why can't
Yeah,
people write stories like that anymore?
yeah, I know. It's so simple. as such a simple concept to do, just I don't know why they have to make, female cops have to be this tough type of, like O'Leary,
Well, they make them men. That's what
complete.
they do.
Yes,
They,
exactly. And
they
she
basically make
wasn't.
them
She's a
dudes.
Yeah, no, she wasn't. She was beautiful. She had a beautiful accent, nice character. She's had what a horrible loss to have,
Yeah.
And she's still. I mean, I was wondering why are you still alive, lady. I mean,
Well, she
I
channeled it
would
into her
jump off
work.
the fucking top. I would have jumped off the top of the roof.
Mm.
I wouldn't have gone to work the next day. You know what I mean? I wouldn't
Yeah.
be doing that. But that goes to show her resilience and that she was strong enough to help Silas to track down Edgar. So, and then when we find out she's got strong blood, she's a strong person in herself, that cemented her character for me even more. And when she got bitten, I'm glad she didn't turn into a vampire because that's what I thought was going to happen.
That would have been
But she
silly.
did. Yeah, that's right. That's what I thought. No, please do not. I do not want to see a police officer fucking vampire. That will just ruin this whole thing. And they didn't. She was bitten, but she just had a little bit of visions and a bit sharper hearing. But she didn't turn into a vampire. I appreciated that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. She was a relatable human character, not a
Yeah,
girl boss.
absolutely. I've
So
got
she
no
wasn't
idea who she
insufferable.
is.
You rooted for her.
Yeah, exactly. The whole way through. I mean, I didn't feel she was cringy at all. You know how sometimes I
Yeah, that's what the
love
girl boss.
O'Leary.
The girl boss character is cringe. That's
Yes,
the
it is.
problem. They
It
make
is.
these cringy, insufferable, unlikable characters,
Yeah,
and then they
yeah,
wonder why nobody
yeah,
watches their movies. But yeah, it's
yeah,
the patriarchy. Yeah,
exactly.
nothing to do with
But
them. It's
I can
all our
see
fault.
two examples, two great examples. This one and O'Leary on Wellington Paranormal.
Yep.
No girl bosses there, and I love it. Yeah, maybe it's a New Zealand thing because our police are really quite relaxed. You can approach them and go up and talk to them and ask how their day is and all that sort of stuff. Maybe it's that. Maybe it's because they don't carry firearms. We're probably the only country that doesn't have our police armed. So maybe it's something to do with that. I don't know because we don't have the girl bosses over here. We have the male bosses, and they're really anyway. Get
Yeah,
into
that's
that.
an insufferable
So
character is
yeah,
an insufferable character.
it
It
is. It
you
is, and
make
it can ruin the movie.
yep. And once
Yeah,
again, even these ones like Cyrus isn't he's the protagonist, but he isn't he's flawed and he sees
yes,
the world, he sees the trappings. He's not like over the top, and he's not coming in all hot. He's actually somebody approachable. You can see why people would gravitate towards him.
yeah, yeah,
I
absolutely.
didn't buy the only bit I didn't really buy is the falling in love, but that was a bit. I don't think they had to do that. I think that could have just been respect and friendship.
Yeah, this is when it always gets mixed up, isn't it? It's like once they bring in that, I don't know. I guess it's just for the whim of the audience. They need some
Well,
sort
it was to
of.
give him the conflict as well. You know what I mean? It was the conflict of the
It was a good drama.
he
Yeah,
he fell in love or he had feelings. He's never dealt with these before because of his um stringent upbringing.
yeah,
He's
yeah.
NC in conflict. I could see it, but he had enough. I think he had enough there as a character arc that basically just seeing injustice being done was enough to motivate
And
him.
just go with that. Yep, yep.
And I think
And then
respect.
who? Yeah, sorry. It's hard not having you here. I can't. I
Yeah, I know you
can't
can't see
gauge
face.
what
It's
you're doing. I can't gauge if you're ready to talk or if you're finished. Sorry.
sorry, dude. I'm just
That's all right. You'll sort it out. Promise you will. But
um
yeah. It's the triangle thing, isn't it? It's the love triangle thing that always just they always have to mix it in with bloody vampires, eh? It's
well, I didn't really
oh,
see a love triangle here.
No, not as such a
Yeah.
triangle as such, except for Edgar is using Lily against Silas, and she's been bait a couple of times, and um, so it's not a love triangle as in Edgar's in love with Lily, but Edgar wants to take Lily away, so that Silas is
Yeah, it's Silas. He
weak.
wants his brother beside him,
He does.
carry his pot, but also he is batshit crazy because the virus has turned his brain. And then when you see what he's done with the virus, he can he's
Yes.
degenerating, but he's doing it slower because he's a vampire. But you see it rapidly happening when he gives his blood to a human.
Yeah. Yes.
That
Nasty.
the same thing's happening to him, but they're just seeing it happen quicker. We
Yeah.
know what's going to happen to Edgar at the end of the day. That's it, but
Yeah.
it could be a year where it's happening in days,
Yeah. Oh,
a
we don't
day.
know. He could have annihilated the world, and just he could have done. There's so much Edgar could have done. He could have taken on. He could have grabbed some of the Brotherhood, and the ones that are like, oh, we don't want to be in this religion anymore. We want to be ourselves and do what we want to do. And he could have got a whole load of soldiers to leave, and then they go off and annihilate the planet. This just could have gone so far.
Mhm.
There could have been a love story going on between Silas and Lily eventually, and the second one, if there was going to be a second one, what's going to happen with the new baby? It's this was so much potential, and yeah, sucks.
Shame they didn't carry it, but at the same time, as a standalone movie,
It's
um
brilliant.
it works.
Yeah,
Honestly, I don't. It doesn't need a sequel to explain. It's because basically
no,
that's what a movie is. You build a universe and you're telling a snapshot story. That's what the original Alien and Aliens movies did so well. Is you had a universe there
he
and you wanted to know more, but then what they've done is they've arsed it up ever since the third movie onwards.
did. Yeah.
And now they're getting. I am not looking forward to this TV show. It's coming out in August now. It was meant to be coming out this month, and now it's coming out in August. So I think they've arsed it up already.
Oh God, can't they just leave it alone?
No, they're going back prequels, so they're overwriting. They've got to the point now they're going to overwrite the original movies.
Oh my
They've arsed it up that
God.
badly. That's what they're doing. And then there's another Predator movie coming out that looks awful.
Oh,
That
I
looks
know.
absolutely terrible.
I saw the difference in the Predator, and I'm like,
It's like, no.
God, I like the first one. Why
First
didn't you just
two are
keep it
great.
as the first two? Yes.
Danny Glow.
That's what Predator is to me, not this bloody black sleek fucking thing. It was just like when I saw the image, I was just like, no, you can't do that. It's terrible. It's completely changed.
But once again, it's just stupidity. It's you haven't got talented people anymore. You've got civil servants in the entertainment industry. A movie like
uh,
this would not happen today.
no,
There would be there's no message in with this movie. That's the thing. It's just exploring an alternate universe,
it's just a
and
movie.
it's
Exactly.
exploring human. Like the only message is what happens when you knee jerk react to everything. It never ends well. You
Yeah.
you don't
Yeah.
carry out things without thinking it through and testing. That's the only real message in this. But you're
That
not being
was.
beaten over the head. You're just left to explore the world and the characters and go, oh,
Yeah.
that's the thing. This is how people react to each other. Oh, this is what happens, when you're in a deprived area. This is what happens when you're brought up another way. This is what happens when worlds collide or philosophies get challenged. You get rebels
Yes.
or, it just does all that. But it's just an interesting story. They're not trying to, you don't make a decision. At the end of the day, is Edgar acting of his own volition or was it the infection?
That's right.
And once again, because we see what happens to humans and it happens more rapidly, it's
Yep.
just happened to him. So he's almost not in control.
Well, we can see that in some of the actions he does.
Mhm.
He's you can see there's a light in there somewhere, of not humanity, but of maybe he's having to hold himself back because it's almost like he wants to hurt people, but he doesn't want to hurt people, and like it has was inferred in the movie, it was the virus that was scrambling him up in the head, and
Yep.
that's why he started going rogue. Um, But I also noticed a very big difference with him was his fangs were a lot more pronounced than all the other ones.
Mhm.
So maybe that in itself is showing us that he's a different type of vampire than Silas, even though they've got the same mums, they've got different dads. They've got the same mums, sorry. So it sort of let me see straight away when I saw his fangs, they're huge in comparison to all the other, you can hardly see them,
Yep.
and the other actors. So I'm thinking, okay, he's a different makeup altogether. Maybe he was a rogue little terror when he was growing up as well
I
and
don't
causing
think
mischief.
so, because if he was, he wouldn't have got it. He wouldn't have got as high as he
He
did.
wouldn't
I
have gone
think it's
so
purely the
far.
virus.
Yes, exactly. So that's why we didn't need the backstory of them growing up, because it would have been all plain sailing. It would have
Yep.
been, well, you're in the Brotherhood now and this is what you do. So that would have been a whole other movie, and that wouldn't have worked. But
Yep.
what you do get at the end of this is going, that is so good. I hope that they continue this. I hope there's going to be a sequel. So, and when you get that vibe and you wish there was a sequel, it's a good film. So that's how I judge it for
Yep.
me. Sometimes.
No, and I like the fact you got the noble sacrifice. You've basically Silas setting himself up to get excommunicated, hounded, to
I
distract
know.
from Lily, because obviously in all its carnage, basically the first sister's born,
Yes.
and
I
Lily gets
think what
her
changed
redemption
him
arc.
was he was pissed off. He was pissed off that they were doing these experiments in the downstairs in the basement, without his knowledge. He didn't even know that this had been going on. I think that's when he started to go, "Oh my god, there's something going on." And
It's having, once again, philosophy is having your faith is such shaken that you think you're in this
yeah,
you're part of this noble cause, and then something rocks your world, and how do you deal with it? Some people go into denial. We see that in the real world. People just double down because it's more important than to have the belief. Isn't the cannibal Holocaust to do that? The girl that survives basically writes the story that it was because her was it not philosophy? What's the word? Her moral compass basically was to
oh
protect the
yeah,
tribe, so she pretended that the tribe didn't eat all her friends because it's more important to her that her worldview didn't
oh,
change than actual reality dealing with it. Some people go that direction where Silas is just absolutely disgusted,
yeah,
and the fact that his
he
brother
is.
was, leading this as such. Um, yeah, so that's his reaction to it. He could have easily just joined in and went along with the cover up.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. But no, he's got something inside him that's different than all of them, I guess.
Yeah, but
And yeah,
it's a human story. We all react in different ways to different things. That's what makes us unique.
yeah, yeah.
We've all got our own moral compasses and things that will
We all
definitely
do.
stand
Yeah,
behind, things that we don't, things that we're ambiguous about.
yeah.
And it's interesting. This explores all that in an interesting manner without preaching.
It does. It does.
Like a story based on religion and using religion doesn't preach to you. Imagine that.
Yeah, but that's only because it's run by vampires. But yeah, no, no, no. I know what you mean. Mm.
But yeah, no, definitely enjoyed that. And
Yeah.
yeah, glad we found it. Now we've got a couple more. We've got another TV series after. We'll do Wolf
Yeah.
Creek first, and then we'll have that in the back burner. But we'll definitely do another movie. We'll add that to the list.
Sounds great.
Yep. And then we're back to Wellington Paranormal. Is that right?
Yes, we
We
are.
are.
And then
Yes.
what we do in the shadows after that.
Yep. So
Yeah.
we're back to our TV shows. So
Yep. Excellent.
yeah, that was fun. Glad we did this one.
Yeah, me too. I'm so glad I got to see this movie. I'm going to recommend it to everybody. Well, I have recommended it,
Yep.
so I
This needs to
recommend
get
you guys
out there.
honestly. Yep, it needs to come back into the
Yep.
world of universe. Yep.
People need to be aware of it. But there you go. Thanks as always, Dale. Great to have you on. Sorry about the camera
Thanks for
stuff.
having me. That's all right. Didn't throw me too
Um,
much. I'm looking at
uh,
your ghost.
yeah, and I'm gonna have to do this again a couple of hours time as a
Oh
cover sinners.
no. Oh
Ah,
dear.
so frustrating.
That's
Of
all
course,
right.
it's
You'll
if
work
it
it
hadn't
out.
been a busy weekend, I wouldn't have minded. To got off, but kind of busy this weekend, so
Oh no.
but push through. All right,
Good luck.
so there you go. Thanks for everyone turning up in the chat and everybody watching. Just as me say, until next time, keep up the channel, do typically things, and remember to keep it creepy, keep it horrific.